as the race is about to start again. We do apologize for the break in transmission. It's good to have you both back, folks. We apologize for the break in transmission. We're about to catch up with proceedings for the final 4 laps of racing. It's going to be Don Rabico versus Zotal versus D-Wax and Van Kobe. To conclude proceedings in the final part of our showcase in Abu Dhabi, who will have the advantage? Right, folks, there's a mixed bag as far as tire compounds are concerned. Donovan Laka, Tindo, Mandla rolling the dice at the back of the pack, going on those soft compound tires. Of course, they can afford to roll the dice at this particular point. They are in P12, 13, and 14, respectively. And they will not make it easy, as race control has given the word that the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. And there goes the safety car. There goes Don Rabico being hunted down by the Red Bull and Alfa Romeo behind him. He's calm enough to warm up those tires in the rest towards turn 1. D-Wax really going nose to wheel at the back of Zotal there. It looks like a clean navigation through the initial sequence of corners. Van Kobe looking to stay in touch with the top runners. He's managing by the skin of his teeth to hang on over there. It looks like Tempo Temba is giving Django a lot to think about. Oh, contact between Tempo Temba and the Ferrari, and Tempo Temba sends it straight into the wall. At the race restart, Tempo Temba is out of the race. He becomes the latest to DNF in lap 26 of 29 in heartbreaking fashion. He is out of this race. Here comes Zotal trying to hunt down the race leader now, and Gawako, aka D-Wax, is a half a second behind the driver in P2. They're all running still within DRS of each other. Thankfully, no safety car over here. Bangani, Debo Croft, surprised at the amount of carnage that we've seen here today. On board now with the driver currently in P4. That is Van Kobe, whose soft tires are now 6 laps old. It looks like Zotal did not get the cleanest exit. Oh, but it's Van Kobe under attack. He makes contact on San Hashra with Van Kobe, completely ruining Van Kobe's race. And San Hashra, with his trademark aggression, sends Van Kobe tumbling all the way down to P12. San Hashra perhaps would be sent to the stewards for that audacious move. He sent it on the inside of Van Kobe, who now tumbles down to the back of the pack. San Hashra is now up to P4, trying to claw his way up to the podium places, despite that time penalty that he has. Smirch Django running half a second behind San Hashra. He's now up to P5, back within the points, but nowhere near close enough to be fighting for those podium places, seemingly, unless he can put something absolutely sensational together. San Hashra now hunting down BrakeAway Racing D-Wax. He thinks about it this time, not quite close enough to dive on the inside the same way he did to Van Kobe, but now he goes off track trying to overtake Ngawako this time, draining that battery. Letsatsi can barely believe what happens to Van Kobe, saying, what the heck was that? Here comes San Hashra this time. If they're going to go up possibly 3 wide, Smirch Django almost going for it, but not quite close enough, as San Hashra fights his way up to P3, overtaking Ngawako. Here comes Django, who's going to look to do exactly the same, and he does. Django in lap 27 is now up to P4. D-Wax struggling at the tail end of this race. He now stumbles down to P6 as Kapoza ekes out whatever advantage he possibly can. What is San Hashra thinking, says Tapiso in the comments section. Here comes Kapoza. It's now P5 versus P4. Williams versus Mercedes in the rush now towards turns number 12 and 13, the hotel section, the technical traction demanding hotel section, sector 3 of this here circuit. Kapoza is now 2/10 off the back of Smirch Django. It's an absolutely titanic tussle between the remaining drivers here to conclude proceedings, as Race Control gives the word that DRS has been enabled in the final part of this race. Donovan Lacka running just 2/10 behind Man Ray, as you saw over there as they're making their way down towards the end of proceedings here. It is Don versus Man Ray. Sun Hashira did not have to do that, as Crash rightfully notes that Smirch Jangle is running here with wing damage. It's Donovan Lacka hunting down Man Ray. Lap 28, Russell Woods turn 5. Ooh, almost going into the back of the Red Bull. Donovan Lacka gets a beautiful entry, and on the inside he says, "Thank you very much. I will take P7 if you will give it to me. If you will make the opening, I will take it." Donovan Lacka up to P7 with the final couple of laps still to go. Back to the battle for the race win. It's the penultimate lap, folks. It's Zotal versus Don Ravico versus Sun Hashira, who has a time penalty to contend with. All things considered over here, it's a 0.6 of a second as Man Ray loses ground. He tumbles down to the back of the pack. It's Sun Hashira on the inside of the Zotal. Smirch Jangle, I beg your pardon. So Jangle was trying to overtake there as Tindo becomes the latest retiree in Sector 2. In Sector 3, I believe it was. So he's lost all the momentum. Sun Hashira losing ground here and tumbling down the order. Sun Hashira not quite coming off second best there in that latest sequence of battles. So now we look and watch ahead to the final battle here, folks. Barely believing the entertainment and the battles that these drivers have given us. Don Ravico will be the one in the advantage towards the line. What can Zotal do? He's within DRS. It's now or never for the veteran Tier 1 driver. But behind him is the specter of Jangle and Kaboza. They're all within a second of each other from P1 down to P4. And Gowacko D-Wax having slipped further down the order. Donovan Lacka looking to overtake Gowacko and get that P5 spot. And he does that on the DRS trade. Let's get back now to the main battle that we've all tuned in for. Who will take the race win? It's turn 6 and 7 as the Mercedes of Jangle lifts up a plume of smoke. Jangle on the attack versus Zotal. It's Mercedes versus Red Bull in the run towards turn 9. The Mercedes is flashing. Will Zotal hold the inside line? Yes, he will. And he navigates turn number 9, still in that P2 spot, still within a second. But Jangle's going to go on the inside on the exit, but he's not close enough to get that move done. Turn 12 and 13 and 14. Oh, Kaboza almost makes contact with the back of the Mercedes, but it looks like Don Ravico may yet have done enough to secure the potential race win over here. Just 12 drivers are remaining out on track. It's been a sensational battle, a sensational quality from the man who took this race from pole position. He hung on to the race lead. He comes home in P1 from Zotal, and Jangle somehow, against all odds, fights back for P3. Kaboza will come home in P4, and Donovan Lacka, what a day, what battles he had. He comes home in P5, and Gowacko takes that 6th spot from Mandla in P7. Sun Hashira comes home P8. I Am Lipo is 9th, and Ban Kobe, with that dramatic race without a wing, brings it home in P10. The last of the points finishers. I want to hear your driver of the day, folks. Who is your driver of the day? What a sensationally dramatic ending to the race we just had. Well, LTVs, yes, we know your work very, very well. And thank you for tuning in and for showing love in the comments. Wandal Shezi showing love to Zotal with the fire emojis, as is Crash. Definitely Duke says Hashira didn't have to do that. Responding to that dramatic moment between Sun Hashira and Ban Kobe earlier on. Zotal is the driver of the day, so says definitely Duke. So says Wandal Shezi. Let us know, folks, what you think of the proceedings over here and how things have panned out.
Hey,
Don Ravico occupying the top step of the podium with the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 27.345. They've slowly started trickling into the commentary box, and I'll tell you what, folks, the first person to join us is Zotal. How does that feel? Congratulations.
Let's go. Tough race, tough quali, didn't have quali pace. But yeah, man, I think it's been a long time coming. The pace is there. It's just the stupid mistakes I make. Abu Dhabi is one of my faves. Managed to hold it down. Obviously, a couple of incidents on track, but opted to stay out on the hards. But yeah, happy with the result.
Oh man, and it was good to see you being racy. A lot of people were rooting for you in the comments section. A lot of people voting you driver of the day. Take us through the last two safety cars. Okay, number one, take us through your decision to pit when you did, and also the safety car restarts, and that battle, literally the final 5 laps, you and Don Radical at the end there.
Yeah, so I think obviously I started off with the medium compound, pushed it. The hard runners were getting quicker than me, lost position against TT. Opozo was putting the pressure, so yeah, for track position I opted to stay out. But there was no pitting after that. Whether one safety car came out or 5 safety car came out, I knew that my pace with the hards was decent. So yeah, definitely happy with that.
Beautiful stuff, man. Always really, really good to see you racing at your very best. The driver who came home P3, despite all of that, and was looking a bit glitchy there as far as his network was concerned, but he still fought back. Take us through your race, Django, and also what happened to send you tumbling down the order and having to fight your way back. Congratulations, P3, sir.
Thank you, Ty. You know what, man? I think it's high time that I admit right now that I'm not gonna win this championship.
Whoa! It's race 2, Django.
No. I mean, so what happened was, just to give you a brief explanation, the safety car was coming in and I was about to send it, and they kept on telling me that I couldn't go on my power, I couldn't apply power on my my throttle, because they were saying safety car in this lap, while I'm at the last corner, and the safety car is already in the pits. So Don passed me and I spun rather, and yeah, because I was trying to apply and then I spun, and then next thing I'm at the back. So yeah, it's high time that I admit that I will come to realization that I'm not gonna win the championship. I'm just gonna fight to stay in the tier, so that in the next one hopefully I'll have better internet and there won't be so much glitches.
Well, time will tell there. I, for one, will just be biding my time and seeing how it pans out. So for those of you in the comments who may not be familiar, when you're the car leading behind the safety car, usually in the final sector, control of the leading car sometimes is kind of relinquished to the game itself. So what Django was speaking about is at the restart, he was probably too hard on the throttle, which caused his spin. But the man who took full advantage and, of course, was the quickest driver in qualifying, he comes home again on the top step of the podium. Don Radical, congratulations. How does that feel? Take us through your race.
Thanks, guys. It felt good. It was a nice race. But overall, everything went well. Just a bit of the safety car. It was a bit of a headache. We never know what happens under the safety cars. Can throw you off sometimes. Yeah. Especially that time when I pitted and Django was out. So I lost the position at that time. We don't know with the safety cars. I hate safety cars, to be honest. But other than that, it was a nice race, nice calm race.
Beautifully done. Take us through your battles, number one, with Tsepo Temba earlier on. That was beautiful stuff between you two, and Zotal towards the end, and the kind of headaches that they were giving you there in those instances.
Yeah, Tsepo Temba, I saw he was pushing on his medium. He was trying to catch me. I said, no, I gotta defend my position, because otherwise, if he passes me on those mediums, it's late. It's gonna be a problem. So I had to use a bit of my ERS to defend. So I managed to hold him off, but I don't know what happened after that. I think he spun, he lost control or something, and then I didn't see him again. And then after that, it was Zotail. I saw Zotail behind me. I was like, towards the end of the race, I said, let me actually, for Zotail, I was slowing down to give him DRS so he can open the gap.
Wow.
I didn't want San Hashira to pass him, so I was like, let me slow down. me, I thought Hashira was behind him.
DRS games in the heat of my battle for the race win. Listen, Don Ravico, that was just sensational entertainment. You've been such an entertaining driver since coming in to the top tier of BrakeAway League Racing. You're 2 for 2, driving with such confidence. Of course, as we saw today, these drivers are not going to make it easy for you. I can't wait to see how you fare between now and the rest of the season. Zotile, this is a beautiful result for you. I just want to hear from you your confidence levels going into race 3 and beyond, and in terms of what you can do as far as this championship fight is concerned.
Okay, so I'm definitely not the fastest. I mean, Rabico and Django are probably peak in tier 1 right now. I'd also put in the likes of Gopies and Max in there, but I'm also not slow. I just need to clean up my mistakes.
Yeah.
And just make sure I keep. I mean, the last race frustrated me. The first race frustrated me because I was actually in a good position, but was those silly mistakes. So for as long as I can keep it clean, I'll be happy.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Gentlemen, congratulations. Don Rabico, Zotile, and Smirch Django occupying the top 3 spots in the podium here today. We will see you for more BrakeAway Racing League action. Remember to tune in 8 p.m. for our Tier 3 race. That is on Tuesday. And 8 p.m. once again on Wednesday for Tier 2. And again, these guys, the top tier, will be racing on Thursday next week at 8 p.m. Catching up with your final comments. Great performance for Don, so says Espexa. Definitely Duke cheering on Rabico, and of course Zotile being cheered on by former champion Titus, and the likes of Vix in the comments section. And Titus saying, I didn't think Django would make it to the podium, but some beautiful racing towards the end by the top 3 finishers there. So thank you, everybody. We will see you for the next BrakeAway Racing League race, Tuesday, 8 p.m. right here. Please remember to like all of our streams and subscribe to the channel. You can also see historical races if you click on the playlist tab of our channel. And if you click on the, then you'll see the different tiers being organized into playlists there. Thank you very much and good night.